chosen one, the time has come for you to face the truth that a job which continually leaves you overlooked, depleted, and deprived of peace cannot forever be called a place where you must remain simply to prove your loyalty. I have seen the mornings when you awakened with heaviness, the times you had to persuade yourself to walk through the workplace doors, and the days when you completed every responsibility yet still felt that your contribution went unnoticed. I am not telling you to resign immediately, nor am I promising that a perfect opportunity will certainly appear at once. I only want you to stop denying what is happening and begin evaluating your professional life with clarity. Archangel Michael, the faithful messenger, protector and executor of my will, is mentioned to remind you that courage does not always mean enduring more. Sometimes it means protecting your dignity, expressing your needs, and preparing for a healthier direction. Yet I remain the Father, speaking directly to you, guiding you with wisdom, not pressuring you through fear or turning the future into an unrealistic promise. I know that you have spent many years proving that you are dependable. You accepted additional tasks when others refused, stayed late to correct problems you did not create, and repeatedly placed the needs of the team above your own health. You believed that if you continued performing well, the person in authority would eventually notice, recognize your efforts, and give you what you deserved. But as time passed, your dedication gradually began to be treated as something automatic. People stopped asking whether you still had the strength because they had become accustomed to hearing you say that you could handle it. Perhaps you were given greater responsibilities, while your authority, income, and respect failed to increase accordingly. I want you to understand that diligence is a precious quality, but without boundaries, it can teach others to take advantage of your silence. Being undervalued does not only mean that you have not been promoted or have not received the salary you hoped for. Sometimes it appears when your opinions are repeatedly ignored, only to be praised after someone else repeats them. Sometimes you are expected to remain endlessly flexible, while your needs are never considered. Some workplaces remember you only when a problem arises, but rarely acknowledge the days when everything runs smoothly because of your quiet dedication. Yet you also need to evaluate the situation fairly, rather than basing your conclusion upon a single disappointing day. Observe the patterns over a sufficient period of time. Have you communicated clearly about your desire for growth? Do you have specific evidence of the results you have produced? Has your manager been given the opportunity to understand your goals? Sometimes the problem is an environment that does not know how to appreciate you, but at other times you may not yet have learned how to present your value, request feedback, or actively pursue a path of development. When your body and mind repeatedly react to your work, you need to listen with discernment. Restlessness every morning, sleeplessness, headaches, tension in your shoulders, or difficulty concentrating may be connected to prolonged stress. If you experience tightness in your chest, shortness of breath, dizziness, or other unusual symptoms, do not assume that they are signs of a professional transition. Seek appropriate medical care, especially when the symptoms are severe, persistent, or recurring. I do not want you to use a spiritual explanation to delay protecting your health. Faith is not opposed to medical examination, psychological counseling, or necessary rest. Your body is not a machine that must continue functioning regardless of the cost. When it speaks, wisdom means investigating the cause, making adjustments, and receiving help. Your thoughts about leaving should also be heard, but they should not immediately be turned into action. Difficult days can make anyone want to quit, but one temporary emotion is not enough to decide your entire future. Ask yourself specifically, what is making you want to leave? Is it the workload, the management style, the lack of growth opportunities, the income, a conflict of values, or an unsafe environment? Could the problem be improved through a conversation, an adjustment of responsibilities, or a transfer to another team? Or has the negative pattern continued for a long time, while every attempt to address it has been dismissed, and your health and dignity are gradually being lost? When you name the problem accurately, you will no longer merely say that you cannot bear it anymore. You can begin constructing a practical plan. I do not want you to leave your job in anger, only to enter a new form of pressure because your finances were not prepared. If your present workplace does not place you in immediate danger, give yourself time to evaluate your income, savings, family responsibilities, and other options. Update your resume, record your accomplishments, study the job market, develop your skills, and connect with experienced people. A good transition is not built through hope alone, but through preparation. Set small goals, complete a course, submit a certain number of suitable applications each week. Speak with someone in the field that interests you, or build an emergency fund. I can guide you toward opportunities, but you must perform your part with discipline and honesty. Perhaps tasks that once felt familiar have now become burdensome. This does not necessarily mean that a magnificent mission is waiting for you somewhere else. You may simply be exhausted, deprived of rest, or performing the same work for too long without an opportunity to learn. At other times, your values and priorities may have changed. Work that suited one period of your life may no longer suit the person you are becoming today. That does not make the years behind you meaningless. Your present workplace may have given you skills, experience, relationships, and necessary lessons. You do not have to hate one chapter in order to leave it. Be grateful for what was good, face honestly what is no longer healthy, and move forward without carrying bitterness. I also want you to distinguish between a genuinely toxic environment and the natural discomfort that comes with growth. A good job can still require discipline, difficult feedback, and responsibility. Not every criticism is disrespect, and not every disagreement means that your worth has been denied. Consider how the feedback is given. Is it specific, respectful, and intended to help you improve, or is it humiliating, threatening, and controlling? Is leadership willing to listen, explain expectations, and acknowledge progress? Are mistakes used as opportunities for learning, or are they repeatedly used as weapons to belittle you? Discernment helps you avoid leaving merely because your pride has been challenged, but it also prevents you from remaining where harm is disguised as workplace culture. If you desire recognition, begin by recognizing yourself in a healthy way. This does not mean believing that you are superior to others. It means seeing clearly what you have learned, the results you have produced, and the value you bring. Record your achievements through facts, not feelings alone. What problems have you solved? How much time have you saved? How have you supported the team? Which skills have you developed? When you enter a conversation about your role, income, or promotion opportunities, present these things clearly and professionally. Do not wait for others to guess everything you desire. Some people are not intentionally ignoring you. They simply do not know the direction in which you want to grow. Clear words can open possibilities that silence can never create. But if you have spoken many times, demonstrated your results, and still continue to be diminished, you have the right to consider another workplace. You do not need to spend your whole life convincing a system that you have value. Some doors do not open because the structure behind them has no room for what you are capable of contributing. That does not prove that you are incompetent. It only reveals that the compatibility is limited. A good seed cannot grow in every kind of soil, but neither can it uproot itself and run away without preparation. Choose a new place based upon reality. Its culture, responsibilities, compensation, learning opportunities, and balance. Do not become captivated merely by an impressive title or a promise offered too quickly. When you hear about moving from struggle into abundance, do not imagine only a large sum of money or immediate success. Abundance sometimes begins when you stop wasting energy trying to prove yourself to people who have no intention of acknowledging you. It may be a job that pays more appropriately, but it may also be a healthier rhythm of life, a respectful manager, time for your family, or the ability to sleep peacefully without fearing tomorrow. Some people earn more while living in fear and losing their health. Others accept a moderate income for a season so that they can learn skills, build a foundation, and preserve balance. Do not allow the world to define success in only one way. Ask what enables you to live responsibly, develop your abilities, and still preserve the relationships that matter. I do not promise that when you do everything correctly, an opportunity will immediately appear. The market may be difficult, the search may take time, and you may face rejection. But one rejection is not a verdict upon your entire worth. Treat it as information. Perhaps your resume needs greater clarity, perhaps a skill needs strengthening, or perhaps the role was not truly suitable for you. Request feedback when possible, make adjustments, and continue. Do not allow every occasion when you are not chosen to drag you back into the belief that you will always be overlooked. You have the right to feel disappointed, but do not let disappointment stop you from acting. Mature faith does not deny difficulty. It helps you continue preparing without destroying yourself. Michael reminds you to stand firmly against the fear of change. You have remained in a familiar environment long enough to know how to survive there, even though it no longer helps you grow. The new frightens you because you do not know whether you will meet the expectations, whether others will accept you, or whether your choice will lead to something better. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means gathering information, preparing carefully, and then moving forward even without complete certainty. Yet the image of the protector also reminds you not to rush into every invitation. Examine the contract, responsibilities, income, benefits, and reputation of the new workplace. If someone pressures you to decide immediately, requires you to pay money in order to be hired, or promises unrealistic income, step back. What is good does not require deception in order to persuade you. Perhaps the deepest transformation will not be changing workplaces, but changing the way you bring yourself into your work. You learn not to accept every request merely because you fear being judged. You stop measuring your entire dignity through achievement. You learn to rest, communicate, and refuse to condemn yourself for days after one mistake. Some people move to another company while carrying the same fear, the same habit of pleasing everyone, and the same inability to establish boundaries. The new environment then gradually becomes another version of the old one. Therefore, before changing places, build change within yourself. Learn to say no professionally. Learn to request clear priorities when the workload becomes too great. Learn to distinguish dedication from self-sacrifice. When you change within, you have a greater chance of not repeating the same pattern in the next place. You also need to forgive those who failed to recognize your contribution. Perhaps they lacked leadership ability, were under pressure, or had become so accustomed to your dedication that they stopped noticing it. Forgiveness does not mean that you must continue accepting such treatment. You can release bitterness and still choose to leave. You can refuse to wish for their failure while still deciding not to return. Do not build your next career merely to make the old workplace regret losing you. If every achievement is intended to answer those who once undervalued you, they are still controlling you. Grow because you value the abilities you have been given, desire to serve more effectively, and want to build a meaningful life. Success driven by revenge will not bring the freedom you are seeking, and forgive yourself for remaining longer than you now believe you should have. Perhaps at that time you did not have the finances, skills, or confidence to leave. Perhaps you continued, hoping that the situation would improve, or your responsibilities toward your family limited your choices. Do not stand in the present and despise the person you once were. That person did the best they could with the knowledge and ability they possessed at the time. Learn the lesson, build a new foundation, and stop punishing yourself. Self-forgiveness does not erase the difficult years, but it prevents you from wasting the years ahead. In regret, my beloved child, even when you cannot yet see any visible change, meaningful conversations about your abilities, dedication, and professional direction may already be taking place in rooms where you are not present. Someone may have observed the way you handle pressure, keep your word, rise after failure, and perform small tasks well when no one praises you. Your name may be mentioned in a meeting, a recommendation, or a conversation among people seeking someone dependable. But I do not want you to turn this possibility into a guarantee that a perfect opportunity is certainly on its way. I want you to understand that sincere effort can produce an influence far beyond what you can presently see. Archangel Michael, the faithful messenger, protector, and executor of my will, is mentioned to remind you that courage must be joined with preparation. Michael does not replace me by speaking to you, nor does he arrange your career independently. I am the Father guiding you to hope without becoming vague, to trust while continuing to act responsibly. You once believed that because you had not been recognized, all your effort had disappeared into emptiness. You worked diligently, solved problems no one else wanted to face, helped others move forward, and repeatedly placed the common good before your own comfort. Yet, when opportunities appeared, you were overlooked. Someone with less experience was chosen. Your idea received attention only after another person presented it. There were days when you wondered whether dedication still had any meaning. I know that disappointment can make you want to withdraw, stop trying, or perform everything at the minimum level. But do not allow another person's judgment to make you lose your good qualities. Continue working with integrity, but from now on, do not sacrifice yourself silently. Learn to present your contributions, record your results, and clearly express what you desire in your professional journey. Positive conversations about you do not always begin with something extraordinary. They may begin when you complete an assignment on time, treat others kindly during a stressful moment, or accept responsibility when a mistake occurs. People may not remember every word you spoke, but they often remember what it felt like to work with someone dependable. A professional reputation is built through many small choices. The way you communicate during disagreement, the way you use time, the way you treat people in lower positions, and the way you behave when you do not receive what you wanted. Therefore, do not prepare only for an interview. Prepare by becoming a consistent person every day. An opportunity may come from somewhere you did not expect, but your ability to preserve it will depend upon the character, skills, and maturity you built beforehand. I do not want you to sit and wait for angels to arrange everything, while you refuse to perform your part. Hope does not replace preparation. If you desire a better position, face honestly the skills you still lack. If you desire a more appropriate income, research your market value, understand the results you produce, and learn to negotiate using evidence. If you want to change fields, begin with small steps. Study, build a portfolio, connect with experienced people, and test your abilities through suitable projects. I can open possibilities before you, but you need enough awareness to recognize them, and enough preparation to enter them. An open door does not automatically guarantee that you will remain there successfully if your inner foundation has not yet become strong. You have worked within systems that used your talent without offering appropriate recognition in return. People gave you additional responsibility because they knew you found it difficult to refuse, but they did not provide suitable authority, support, or compensation. You were called whenever a crisis occurred, but forgotten when opportunities were distributed. This can make you believe that you are not valuable enough, when the truth may be that the environment had become accustomed to receiving more than it was willing to give. I want you to view the situation fairly. Do not call every inconvenience exploitation, but neither should you deny clear patterns. If effort and reward remain continually unbalanced, gather information, communicate honestly, and consider other options. You do not need to live forever within a structure that functions only when you agree to be undervalued. However, the removal of limitations must first begin within you. Some limitations were not built by other people, but arose from beliefs you carried for too long. You are afraid to ask for what is fair because you think you will appear overly ambitious. You hesitate to apply for a higher role because you focus only upon what you do not yet know while forgetting what you have already learned. You assume others are always more capable, confident, and suitable, so you remove yourself from the opportunity before anyone else has a chance to evaluate you. I do not want you to become arrogant, but neither do I want you to call self-belittlement humility. Humility means seeing your abilities accurately, recognizing what is still missing, and remaining willing to learn. Insecurity means denying the gifts you possess and waiting for someone else's permission before daring to move forward. Michael reminds you to stand firmly against voices that tell you that you are suited only for a position in the background. Yet courage does not mean rushing into every opportunity to prove your value. Some invitations are attractive but incompatible with your lifestyle, health, or values. Some positions offer higher pay but require you to compromise your integrity. Some opportunities are advertised as breakthroughs but lack transparency, stability, or clear legal conditions. Do not allow your desire for recognition to make you overlook troubling signs. Read the contract carefully. Ask about responsibilities, benefits, working hours, and evaluation standards. A healthy opportunity does not fear honest questions. A person who respects you will not pressure you into deciding before you possess enough information. When you hear that your income may increase, receive this as a possibility that must be built, not as a guaranteed promise. Income usually improves through a combination of skill, experience, negotiation ability, market conditions, and responsible decisions. Pray for discernment, but also manage what you currently possess. Do not spend beyond your means, borrow carelessly, or participate in schemes, promising rapid wealth simply because you believe a breakthrough is coming. If someone promises guaranteed profit, pressures you to invest immediately, or uses spiritual language to convince you to transfer money, step back. Provision does not require you to abandon wisdom. Sometimes the greatest protection is not receiving a large sum, but avoiding a decision that could cause you to lose what you have already accumulated. The multiplication of opportunities does not always mean receiving more invitations. Sometimes it means recognizing multiple ways to use the same ability. A skill you once believed was useful only in your present job may also be applied in another industry, an independent project, or a role teaching others. Sometimes opportunity comes through cooperation, sharing knowledge, or actively suggesting a new method. But you do not need to seize everything. Too many choices can also scatter your focus. Ask which path is compatible with your values, abilities, responsibilities, and present stage of life. A good opportunity does not only excite you. It also possesses a foundation clear enough for you to grow sustainably without losing yourself. You often hear that work must perfectly align with your mission in order to have meaning. But I want you to release some of the pressure within that understanding. Not everyone finds one single profession that fills every day with inspiration. Some jobs first enable you to care for your family, learn discipline, and meet practical needs within your community. Meaning is not found only in a title, but also in the way you perform your responsibilities. You can bring kindness, honesty, and a spirit of service into very ordinary work. At the same time, if you possess unused abilities and desires, find ways to develop them rather than burying them because you are afraid of change. A mission does not necessarily require a large stage. It can be the way you bring goodness wherever you are and use responsibly what you have been given. Your professional turning point may not begin when a powerful person calls your name. It may begin one evening when you decide to update your resume, one conversation when you dare to request feedback, or one day when you stop delaying the process of learning a new skill. You often desire a great external change, but many transformations begin after one small internal decision. When you stop waiting to be rescued and begin preparing, you have already entered a different posture. This does not mean that every result lies within your control. You may still face rejection, encounter a difficult market, or need more time than expected. But preparation prevents you from feeling completely powerless. You know that you are doing what you can, learning what you need, and adjusting after every experience. I also want you to stop comparing your progress with that of others. You see someone receive a promotion, earn more, or move to a prestigious company, and you immediately believe that you have been left behind. But you see only the public part of their journey. You do not know all the years of preparation, the support they received, the sacrifices they accepted, or the pressure they now carry. Comparison can make you rush into an unsuitable opportunity or despise your own small progress. Look at who you were 1 year ago. What have you learned? Where have you become more courageous? How much more clearly do you understand yourself? Genuine growth is not always measured through titles. Sometimes your greatest achievement is learning to say no, managing your health, and no longer placing your entire worth in your work. If your present environment is genuinely draining you, do not wait until you collapse before acting. But neither should you leave in anger without preparation. Build a bridge into the next chapter. Review your finances, create an emergency fund if possible, and expand your network sincerely. Find a mentor, speak with people who understand the field, and ask specific questions. If you are experiencing harassment, discrimination, threats, or violations of your rights, document what is happening and seek appropriate support. Faith does not mean suffering in silence. Protection may come through law, internal policies, a labor union, or responsible authorities. You do not need to fight alone, but you must also be careful in the way you collect and use information. Do not carry bitterness from the old place into the new one. You can leave an unjust system while still preserving professionalism. Do not destroy every relationship merely because some people failed to recognize your value. Some people remained silent because they lacked decision-making authority. Some helped you in ways you did not immediately recognize. Distinguish those who harmed you from the whole organization. And do not use one painful experience to conclude that every workplace will be the same. Leaving with integrity will help you avoid carrying unresolved matters into the future. Transfer responsibilities properly, keep your word, speak the truth with appropriate restraint, and do not publicly expose private matters merely to gain approval. Maturity is often seen most clearly in the way you end a chapter. Forgive those who undervalued you, but forgiveness does not mean allowing them to continue using you without boundaries. You can release the desire for revenge and still request fairness. You can refuse to wish for their failure while still choosing not to return. Do not build your future success as a performance designed to make them regret losing you. If every step is intended to prove something to people from your past, you are not yet truly free. Grow because you value your abilities, desire to live responsibly, and want to contribute something good. When your motives are healed, you will know how to receive recognition without becoming dependent upon it, and how to face rejection without losing your identity. You also need to forgive yourself for opportunities you did not pursue, negotiations you were afraid to begin, and years you remained in a place that no longer suited you. Perhaps you needed stability at the time, did not possess enough knowledge, or had to care for your family. Perhaps you were afraid because you had failed before, and did not want to experience that feeling again. Do not use today's understanding to condemn your former self. Look upon that person with compassion, receive the lesson, and begin acting differently now. Regret is valuable only when it becomes action. Choose one thing you can do this week to expand your possibilities, however small it may be. The future is not changed by repeatedly blaming the past, but through decisions repeated in the present. Now stand with clear-minded courage. Believe that your contribution can be seen, but do not wait for recognition before beginning to recognize yourself. Prepare for opportunity, but do not treat every invitation as destiny. Hope for a better income, but continue managing your finances responsibly. Seek work that is more aligned with your values, but do not despise the lessons your present workplace has given you. Michael reminds you to stand firmly against the fear of being left behind and against systems that cause you to forget your dignity. Yet I guide you through peace, not through blind ambition or absolute promises. Let the climax of this transformation not be a declaration that every limitation has disappeared, but a decision that you will no longer exclude yourself from worthwhile possibilities. You will learn, communicate your value clearly, and enter the conversations that need to take place. You will no longer call exhaustion loyalty, nor will you use the fear of scarcity to justify remaining forever in a harmful situation. You will release bitterness, forgive others with wisdom, and forgive yourself with compassion. When a door does not open, you will learn instead of condemning yourself. When an opportunity arrives, you will examine it and prepare. When results are not yet visible, you will continue building your foundation through integrity. Then return to peace. Take a slow breath and give thanks that you still possess the ability to learn, change, and begin again. Give thanks for the people who quietly recognized the good within you, the lessons that helped you understand more clearly what you need, and even the rejections that compelled you to build a stronger foundation. You do not need to know where your name is being mentioned in order to live well today. Perform the work before you with dedication, but do not neglect your health. Preserve gratitude without abandoning the desire to grow. Hope while continuing to face reality. Day by day, prepare yourself so that when the right opportunity appears, you will not only recognize it, but also possess the maturity to enter it. Preserve it and use it in a way that brings good to you and to those around you.